On day 5 of our Cold War, I ran into my poor boyfriend. He sat among rich kids like he owned the place. So now what? Are you getting hooked on this act? Billionaire from the slums. The Rong and Gu family's marriage alliance. Should be set soon, right? Still not dumping her? Then make up an excuse. Perfect. Help me think of one. Only then did I understand. My so-called poor boyfriend was actually Rong Group's famous heir. I decided to end it with dignity. So when Rong Zay looked troubled and said, "My dad fell from a construction site. I don't want to hold you back," I said calmly, "Okay. I agree, let's break up." After sending Rong Zay a long peace message, I pushed open the next private room. And there he was, a face I knew too well. The man I had just texted. He was leaning lazily on the sofa. Every inch of him screamed old money. And around him sat a crowd of real rich kids. That's hilarious. Any random thing on him costs more than that watch. Isn't that obvious? Young Master Rong has never gotten such a plain gift. I froze for a second. Then I lowered my head. Only then did I remember I had a mask on. From the corner of my eye, I saw the watch. It was my gift for Rong Zay's new job. It cost me 3 months of pay. That was why I took this part-time job. In the center of the sofa, Rong Zay slowly sipped his wine. It's the thought that counts. What do you know? The whole room burst out laughing. Bro, you're addicted to this slum billionaire act. For real. The Rong-Gu marriage alliance should be settled soon, right? Still not ending it, Rong Zay thought for a moment. Then shrugged. I'm looking for an excuse. Perfect. Help me think of one. You're really ending it. Why so sudden? You didn't say that days ago. Inoue wants me to go back to Hu City. Rong Zay emptied his glass. Oh, back to Hu City? Don't tell me she wants you to meet her family. No wonder. I quietly clenched my palm. A few days ago, my aunt called me back to Hu City. I guessed what she wanted. So I asked Rong Zay to come with me. His face looked strange then. He didn't say yes. He didn't say no. After that, we fought over some tiny thing. Then he got a call and left. He never came home. So this was the real reason. That girl wants to take you home? She really dares to dream. I had seen that woman before. Last month. I got off work early. Rong Zay picked me up on an e-bike. Outside our cheap apartment compound. She sat in a flashy convertible. You couldn't miss her. Rong Zay introduced her. Said she was his roommate's sister. I thought they had business. So I greeted her and left first. I left them there. But before I got far, I heard her sneer, "Wow, impressive. You can live in a place that smells like this?" I looked back once. Somehow, I felt they were not ordinary friends. Say what you want about Liang Inoue, but she really is beautiful. Pure, soft, first love type. Rong Zay, can you really let her go? If she wasn't pretty, would young Master Rong leave his mansion to live with her in that slum for a year? Use your brain. Pretty? Where? Have you never seen a woman before? Yes, Miss Jiang is the prettiest. What does Liang Inoue even have? Just a slightly better figure. Tiny waist, long legs. So what if she looks good? All she does is chase men. Enough what? Did I say anything wrong? Let's be serious. A proper girl from a good family wouldn't live with a man without status. She's clearly trying to climb up. You better not let her cause trouble. Relax. I don't acknowledge nameless children. My child will only come from my wife. No one else. Liang Inoue included. Rong Zay's cold voice hit my ears. I stared at his sharp face, suddenly lost. Once my period was late. What if I'm pregnant? What are you scared of? If you are, give birth. Your husband will raise you both, he said. We laughed and played on the sofa, talking about our future child. Boy or girl. Like dad or like mom. Then we kissed. Back then, I never doubted it. One day I would marry the man before me, have kids and live simply. But only months had passed. The same man, with the same cold voice, now cut straight through me. At 10 that night, I left the club. Rose was already waiting at home. He had changed into the t-shirt I bought online 3 for 100 yuan. Why are you back so late? Rose came over and pulled me into his arms, as if nothing had happened. But I knew how proud he was. If I hadn't sent that long peace message tonight, he wouldn't have come back. His familiar scent wrapped around me. He must have showered. There was no alcohol on him. I paused. I just got off work. Rose froze. Then let go. His dark eyes locked on mine. What's wrong? You seem unhappy. We had known each other for 2 years, and lived together for nearly one. We knew each other too well, from one simple answer. He already knew I was off. It's nothing. I'm just tired. I'll run you a bath, okay? After my shower, Rose leaned in to kiss me. Maybe because he was young. He was always full of energy. Never tired of it. I suddenly remembered his friend's words. If she wasn't pretty, would young Master Rong leave his mansion to live with her in that slum for a year? On the way home, I searched online. The Rong mansion sat in High City's priciest district. Over 400,000 per square meter. So my boyfriend, who lived on less than 50 yuan a day, was Rong Group's heir. For over a year. How did he live in this tiny, stuffy room that cost under 500 a month? Was it really because of me? Was he simply unable to let go? What are you thinking? I snapped back. Quickly made him complain. Rose was 2 months younger than me. Baby's hungry. Sis, be gentle. Normally, I would have softened. But tonight, I had no mood. I don't feel well. You don't? Dizzy? I'll take you to the hospital. No, listen, I just bought your work gift. And I paid rent yesterday. I'm out of money. He had just joined a big company. And I didn't want him looking shabby. So I bought him a full set. Suits, shirts, shoes, and a watch. Rose looked at me. Then sighed. Don't worry. I have money. From where? He had just graduated. His internship pay wasn't much. I managed all our money. I gave him 50 yuan a day. I knew every bit of cash he had. And where it went. He couldn't explain it. I borrowed it from a friend. Why borrow money for nothing? I looked at him, showing a little displeasure on purpose. We'll need money for so many things. A house, marriage, kids. Which one is cheap? Don't spend recklessly. Rose's face changed slightly. His eyes looked helpless. Sis called me back. Just to say this? Of course not. I wanted to tell you. I bought tickets back to Hu City. Yours too. 7 tomorrow morning. If Sis feels unwell, sleep alone. I'll sleep next door, I sighed. Then I lay back down. I was sure Rose liked me a little. But that little love wasn't enough to marry me. In that case, we should stop wasting time. Saturday morning, I calmly packed for Hu City. Rose watched coldly from the side. After I packed both our things, I was about to ask him to call a car, when Rose finally stopped me. I have something to tell you. I didn't expect the excuse his friends made up would be his dad falling from a site. So he couldn't hold me back. Honestly, it was painfully bad. So when Rose said it, his face and voice were stiff. What a filial son. Truly touching. Sorry. This hurts me too. But my family is like this. I don't want to hold you back. Okay. I agree. Rose went silent. He looked up at me in disbelief. What did you say? I also think we're not suitable. You're not wrong. I'm not wrong either. The problem is, we're both poor. We can't give each other a better life. So let's let each other go. Find someone rich instead. Someone rich, You're good looking. So am I. After we break up, finding better partners won't be hard. Maybe I agreed too fast. I didn't cry. I didn't beg him to stay. So Rose's face darkened terribly. Liang Inuo, you really think that? Of course. At this point, I wanted to end it with dignity. He had hidden his identity. But those 2 years were happy. No need to make it ugly. The air went strangely quiet. Since that's what you want, I'll give it to you. I'll move out this afternoon. Okay, I opened the suitcase and took out his clothes. Then I remembered. Right. The salary you gave me. I'll calculate it later and send it on WeChat. He stared at me. His eyes grew even sharper. No need. Take it as compensation. Isn't your dad in the hospital? Your family needs money now. I should send it back. Rongse's face froze. He said nothing. My phone vibrated. The car I booked had arrived. As I walked out, his angry voice came from behind. Liang Inua. You better not regret this. What a thing to say. Whether I regretted it or not, wasn't he still leaving me? I knew why my aunt called me back. She had urged me home several times. It probably had something to do with my cousin. Sure enough, my aunt tested me. Xiao Nua. Didn't you have a boyfriend? Why didn't you bring him? We broke up. Why? Personality mismatch, I guess. I made up an excuse. My aunt comforted me, then cleared her throat. Xiao Nua. I wasn't going to say this. But since you two broke up, there's no harm mentioning it. You're grown up now. Just as I thought. She wanted me on a blind date. At first, I thought it was my cousin's former fiancé. To save the family alliance. But this time, it was the youngest son of Lu Group. I was surprised. My uncle's business had grown that big. Big enough to reach the Lu family. But would they even choose me? I wasn't my aunt's real daughter. Then my aunt hesitated. And explained more. Only then did I understand. Turns out, young Master Lu had a car accident last year. His life was saved. But his legs were badly injured. The Lu family was top-tier rich. But their youngest son was disabled. No matter how others wanted to please them, they wouldn't push their daughters into that pit. Of course, I'm only asking. If you don't want to, forget it. I just feel it might be a chance. Outsiders might think my aunt was blinded by profit, pushing her niece into a fire pit. But I knew she wasn't. Because she started the same way. My aunt was beautiful. A full forehead. Smooth skin. Soft features. And strong bone structure. A real beauty. She married my uncle. At 22. Right after college. My uncle was 15 years older. With 2 ex-wives before her. But his family was rich. They owned 2 companies. My grandfather's family was declining. And they favored sons over daughters. Almost everything went to their sons. As a daughter, my aunt was the child nobody cared for. She saw my uncle as her way to change her life. So she took that chance. After the wedding, she joined the family company. She started in sales. Then climbed step by step. She had a mind for business and real skill. In a few years, the group grew bigger. And so did her own worth. Later, my uncle stepped back and handed the whole group to her. Through marriage, my aunt changed her life. And crossed classes. Maybe because she lived it herself. She advised me that way. I didn't think much before agreeing. It was just a blind date. If I disliked him, I could leave. Besides, he might not like me either. I sat in the cafe for a while. No one came through the entrance. So I went to the restroom. When I came back, a wheelchair sat across from my seat. A young man sat in it. Sharp brows, deep features, thin lips, and a painfully handsome face. I walked over. Hello. Lu Jiayan raised his eyes. Those deep peach blossom eyes swept over me lightly. Then he smiled faintly. Miss Liang now. Dates disabled men too? I touched my nose. Right. I knew this young Master Lu. We were schoolmates. We were even deskmates once. One summer afternoon. I told Lu Jiayan I like you. Of course, he rejected me hard. Worse, it happened in front of half the class. Back then, I had thick skin. I wasn't even embarrassed. A cold campus prince is never easy to win. If he were easy to chase, he wouldn't be Lu Jiayan. No one knew better than me how popular he was. After being rejected, my fighting spirit lit up. Yes, I got even more determined. From then on, I chased him harder. I chased him for 3 years. I asked about everything he liked. I gave him his favorite CDs. I baked his favorite cakes. I went to the court just to run into him. Even at the cafeteria. I sat beside him like it was my seat. Every weekend, I used studying as an excuse to stay at his house. In the end, the Lu family's old butler and all the housekeepers knew me well. Until one day, a transfer student joined our class. She also went all in on Lu Jiayan. Every weekend, she copied me, asking him to tutor her. When we ate at school, I sat on his left, and she sat on his right. When he played ball, I brought him a drink, and she brought one too. Honestly, it disgusted me. I didn't want to stay passive, so I asked him directly. I told him to choose between us. Lu Jiayan said coldly, I choose no one. You both stay away from me. At that moment, I knew he felt nothing for me. And I was tired of fighting her like a boxing match. So I gave up on Lu Jiayan. After that, I stopped bothering him. At school, we became strangers. Not even a word. Soon after, my father's investment failed. Our family fell hard. My mother frowned every day, always grieving in silence. She even kept mentioning divorce. The whole house felt heavy. I worried every day. And my grades collapsed. By midterms, I hit the bottom of class. One day, Lu Jiayan came to me. His tone was stiff. Xiao Rui and I are just classmates. Nothing more. Xiao Rui was the transfer student. I was completely confused. You too have anything to do with me? Lu Jiayan paused. His voice sounded unnatural. Come over this weekend. I'll help you review. Wow, the sun rose in the west. Lu Jiayan offered to help me study. But I had no heart for it. No need, I rejected him. Lu Jiayan's face darkened. He looked at me for a long time. In the end, he left. Days passed one by one. I got worse and worse. My quiz scores dropped again. My advisor talked to me several times, telling me to pull myself together and study properly again. But I had no strength. Little by little, I knew my parents couldn't fix it. They grew more distant. The home I knew slowly disappeared. I felt helpless, with no one to talk to. Right then, Lu Jiayan came again. His tone was serious. Liang Inua. Same as before. Saturday morning 8. Come study at my house. Lu Jiayan, what do you want? I don't need your help. Can you stop bothering me? He froze, staring at me. He had been spoiled since childhood. No one had spoken to him like that. For a moment, he got angry too. Just like that, we started a cold war. Neither of us lowered our head. Then accidents came one after another. My family fell apart. My father got sick from exhaustion and left us forever. After that, my mother remarried. So I moved in with my aunt. From then on, we never met again. Not until today, right here. I touched my nose awkwardly. How about I pay today? Consider it my apology. I didn't appreciate your kindness. I really didn't know better. No need. I don't take free rewards. I still have some pride. Great, this date was dead. I forced a smile. How have you been? As you can see. Oh no, my stupid mouth. Regret hit me hard. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Lu Jiayan stayed calm and unreadable. It has nothing to do with you. Maybe we should end this fast. It was painfully awkward. After hesitating, I texted a close friend and asked her to call in 20 minutes. My coffee arrived. Lu Jiayan wasn't one to start talking. To avoid dead silence, I forced out 2 topics. 20 minutes later, my roommate finally called. I felt safe and quickly hung up. Sorry. I have something today. Let's do this another day? Lu Jiayan stared at me. You're leaving? His eyes were hard to read. My roommate needs me. I was about to stand, when the coffee somehow tipped over. Half a cup of coffee spilled across the table, and onto Lu Jiayan's shirt. I jumped. Are you okay? Back in school, I knew this young master was a clean freak. Now this was bad. Sure enough, Lu Jiayan frowned, staring at the stain in disgust. I need to shower and change. Can you drive me? I froze. How did you get here? Where's your driver? Emergency, he left. I didn't think much, so I agreed. Lu Jiayan didn't go home. Instead, he had me drive to a villa. Halfway up the mountain, the villa was empty, but everything was clean and tidy. I pushed Lu Jiayan to the first floor bathroom. Can you get me clean clothes? Where? Second floor. In the closet. I did as he said. From the bedroom. On the second floor, I brought clothes down. When I returned, he was unbuttoning his cuffs. Thinking it might be hard for him, I asked, need help? Lu Jiayan paused slightly. He raised a brow. Under the light, his eyes rippled like water. Sure, I only asked out of courtesy. But he actually agreed. Stunned, I walked over and reached out. Using my arm for support, he slowly stood from the wheelchair, so he could stand. I was surprised. After I undid his cuffs, he started unbuttoning his shirt. We were standing too close. My face started heating up. Awkward. Very awkward, but soon, I forgot to be awkward, because this young master had chest muscles. His abs were nice too. I didn't expect a man in a wheelchair to have such a body. I forced myself to calm down, and handed him the robe. I couldn't find a shirt. Only a bathrobe. Lu Jiayan kept looking at my face. Only then did I notice he was much taller. Much taller than in junior high. He was probably at least 185 now. That's fine, he said clearly. Only then did I notice his shirt was off. Broad shoulders, narrow waist, firm muscles, and a perfect V-line. I couldn't imagine how good his body was before the accident. I stood outside and scrolled my phone. Only when the shower stopped did I admit I was afraid he'd fall. That would be serious. Luckily, nothing happened. The door opened. Lu Jiayan sat in his wheelchair wearing the robe. His face was damp. Water dripping from his hair. Can you get the hair dryer? The hair dryer noise covered the awkwardness well. Halfway through, I noticed him watching me. What? Nothing. When we reached the living room, it was raining. Lu Jiayan took out his phone. I'll ask Uncle Wang to send you back. Didn't you say he left for an emergency? Lu Jiayan paused. He pressed his lips. He should be back soon. Though years had passed, Uncle Wang recognized me at once. He smiled brightly. Miss Inua. You've grown so much. Seeing an elder after so long. I felt happy too. Uncle Wang, it's been years. You haven't changed. Oh, not at all. You kids grew up, we got old. I chatted with Uncle Wang. Just as I was about to leave young Inua. What? The room went quiet. Uncle Wang quickly understood. Miss Inua. I'll wait in the car. Lu Jiayan pressed a button. And his wheelchair came to me. I'm doing rehab recently. That random sentence froze me. What? You saw it earlier. I can still stand by myself. The doctor said if rehab goes well, my legs can recover in 2 years. I hope you think it through. Don't decide too fast. I still didn't understand. Think about what? Lu Jiayan raised his eyes. The blind date. Oh, so that was it. I finally understood. No need to think. If you're willing, I'm willing. Lu Jiayan reacted several beats late. Like he hadn't processed it. Of course, I won't regret it. Then it settled. That night, when I got home, my aunt was on the phone. I didn't know what they said. But she looked shocked. After hanging up, she said, Xiao Nuo, where did you go today? Nowhere, just the cafe. The Lu family just called. They asked about an engagement before year-end. Before year-end? Honestly, I didn't expect it so fast. But thinking about it, early marriage seemed normal in the Lu family. Back in 7th grade, I often went to the Lu residence to have Lu Jiayan tutor me. The first time I saw Madame Lu, I understood what stunning meant. She was truly beautiful. Like a heroine from a 90s Hong Kong drama. Beautiful and unbelievably young. For a while, I thought she was his sister. Only later did I learn. Madame Lu married Lu Jiayan's father. In her senior year of college. When she was only 21. That was when I realized. The Lus married early. After hearing that, I got excited for days. Lu Jiayan, in that case. I only need 8 years to marry you. Surprised? Shocked. Lu Jiayan rolled his eyes. Can you be any thicker-skinned? Hubby, Saranghio. I answered smoothly, thinking of those memories. I felt a little emotional. Maybe this really was fate. Young Master Lu, that untouchable flower, was finally picked by me. This young Master Lu lost use of his legs after last year's accident. But many families still wanted marriage ties with the Lus. I didn't expect your first meeting to bring a year-end engagement offer. That's really rare. I felt this needed explaining. Well, Auntie, Actually, Lu Jian and I were classmates. Her eyes widened. From elementary and junior high? My aunt thought for a moment. As if it clicked. Did young Master Lu like you before? I shook my head. No. I was the one who liked him. I chased him for years. He never agreed. Silly girl, my aunt smiled. After chatting a while, she said, since you'll work in whose city? Shouldn't you resign from your job? Hearing that, I thought I really should find time to resign in high city and return my rented apartment. My aunt touched my head and sighed. When you graduated, I told you to help at the company. But you stubborn girl wouldn't listen. Now that you've seen enough of the big city, it's time to come home, right? My old thinking was childish. I didn't want to rely on my aunt's money. So I tried to make it alone. After meeting Rose, I wanted to return even less. Now, it felt so dramatic for nothing. In whose city I had family and friends. Classmates I grew up with. Yet I insisted on staying in a strange city. Living in a cheap little room. Working several jobs. And supporting a boyfriend pretending to be poor. I deserved it. Forget it, I had broken up with Rose. There was nothing in high city worth missing. So I'd move back. It only took half a day to sort most things in my room. Then settle the lease with my landlady. Before leaving high city, I invited 2 close friends to dinner. While we waited outside the restaurant, a man walked past me. Then he suddenly stopped. Liang Inua, I looked at him. Then remembered, he was in that private room that day. Probably Rose's friend. You don't remember me? I'm Rose's roommate. We met at High City University. After he said that, I vaguely remembered. During Rose's senior year, I once went to his school. This guy seemed to be there. I smiled politely. Hello. Waiting for Rose? I think he resigned. Only then did I remember. The building across the street was Rose's old company. Want me to call him? That guy keeps hiding from his girlfriend. He probably knew we had broken up and wanted drama. I was speechless, but also amused. After a thought, I played along. Really? No wonder I waited for days and never saw him. The private room was noisy. A group of bored rich guys were playing cards, while others talked business. Only Rose sat on the sofa, detached. Now and then, he checked his phone. Rose, why are you so distracted lately? Don't tell me you fell for her. Someone caught that fast. Which girl? Who else? Liang Inua, of course, honestly. Young Master Rong has been weird lately. He keeps staring at his phone. He's turning into a waiting statue. Can you stop exaggerating? If he's a statue, I'm a mountain. But honestly, young Master Rong is heartless. If it were me, I couldn't dump Liang Inua. That girl is really attractive. Fair skin. Crazy long legs. Most importantly, she's loyal. To the point of being stupid. She worked 3 jobs a day. Just to buy him a watch and work clothes. Where do you find a girlfriend like that? So what? Even if she worked 10 jobs, she still can't enter the Rome family. She does have backbone, though. She didn't even make a scene. Rose. Your charm has dropped. Please, she's smarter than you think. She turned passive into active. She's ignoring him on purpose. Waiting for men to take the bait. Jiang Anyu sneered. She looked very certain. She's waiting for him to bow first. If he ignores her, she'll show up herself. Just wait, I don't think so. What kind of person do you think she is? Exactly, Rose was already irritated. Yet these people still had no sense. They buzzed around him like flies. Are you done? No one thinks you're mute if you shut up. With young Master Rome's pressure rising, everyone quieted down. His phone suddenly rang. The screen showed Zhou Jinyu. Rose felt strangely disappointed. He answered impatiently, What? Young Master Rome, you didn't tell young Inua you resigned? She's been waiting outside your company for days. Those words hit like cold wind, making Rose jolt. He sat up straight. You mean Liang Inua? What did I just say? Now you believe me, right? Rose, if you go today, you'll be her emotional ATM for life. You'll never turn it around. Jiang Anyu's words hit like thunder, freezing him in place. Rong-se sat there silent for a long time. In the end, he hardened his heart and said coldly to Zhou Jinyu, "She and I are over. Tell her to stop looking. I won't see her." The man hung up and looked at me guiltily. Sorry, he's really heartless. A group of diners had just left. So my turn was soon, since the act had gone this far. I might as well finish it. I wiped my non-existent tears and sniffed softly, looking heartbroken. Okay. Please tell Rong-se. I won't look for him again. The man stared at me with mixed feelings, wanting to speak, then holding back. Miss Liang, how about we add WeChat? If you need any help, you can come to me. No, I don't want to see Rong-se again. Or any of his friends. After returning to Hu City, Lu Jiayan and I dated for marriage. Maybe that's the good thing about blind dates. Both sides know the goal. No dragging things out. Years later, I met Madame Lu again. She was even more stunning. So the girl dating our Ayan is little Naomi? No wonder this boy suddenly woke up and mentioned marriage himself. Being so close to such beauty, my heart raced wildly. I never thought my heart would race, because my future mother-in-law stood too close. Auntie Lu, long time no see. It has been years. Xiao Nuo has grown up. A real beauty. I felt guilty. Probably few women dared call themselves pretty before her. Have you seen Blue Moon Bay? How about using it as your wedding home? If you don't like the British style, Auntie can have it renovated. I had known long ago that Blue Moon Bay was bought by Lu Jiayan's grandfather for his grandson's wedding home. It was near the Lu residence. So after chatting with Auntie Lu, I dragged Lu Jiayan to Blue Moon Bay. The house was bigger than I thought. Classic European style, surrounded by woods, with a lake, a horse ranch, and even an orchard. I loved it at first sight. Living here would be amazing. I couldn't wait to ask him, "Can I move in right now?" He looked up surprised. His usually calm eyes rippled because of me. Even his voice softened. Of course. Great. The next morning, I moved in. Then Lu Jiayan moved in too. No blind date couple was more efficient than us. 2 weeks in, we were already trial married. My life slowly settled. Every morning, I went with him to Lu International. In the afternoon, I went with him to rehab. His rehab went smoothly. At first, he could barely stand. Now he could already walk alone. For 2 or 3 meters. If nothing went wrong, he could leave the wheelchair before the wedding. After living together, I slowly realized the Lu Jiayan now was very different from before. When he was young, he was cold. Whenever I forced a conversation, he would just ignore me. But the grown-up Lu Jiayan was much easier to get along with. No matter how much I talked, he never showed the slightest impatience. Sometimes, when I went quiet, he felt unused to it. He would even start topics first. Even when I teased him, he no longer acted like before. Angry, speechless, rolling his eyes. That day, after rehab, he had sweated a lot. So I joked, "How about I go in and help you wash?" Unexpectedly, he answered calmly, "Sure." His smooth, honest response made even my face burn red. In the end, I ran away. How could someone change so much? It was honestly strange. If it were before, Lu Jiayan would have mocked me. "Can your face get any thicker?" After we moved into Blue Moon Bay, Madame Lu wanted to arrange helpers to take care of us. But Lu Jiayan refused. "We can handle it ourselves." Early the next morning, I had just gone downstairs when I saw him making breakfast. That scene startled me. I never thought a spoiled young master would cook with his own hands. The sun really rose in the west. Young Master Lu made sandwiches and eggs. But I noticed he kept hiding one hand. Realizing something, I grabbed his wrist. Sure enough, his hand was badly burned. My heart tightened. I quickly pulled him to rinse it at the sink. "You don't even know how. Let's hire helpers tomorrow." "No need. I'll get used to it." I found it strange. "Why won't you let them move in?" Lu Jiayan stayed silent. Then he said firmly, "I want it to be just us." Looking at his stubborn face, I suddenly felt amused. So cold, so proud. Yet he had his chasing wife moment too. My mood instantly lifted. "Lu Jiayan, when did you start liking me?" His breath paused. He lowered his eyes. His voice was heavy. I don't know. Anyway, long ago, I went to your house. But your neighbor said your relatives took you away. I'm sorry. Back then, I didn't know. So much had happened to your family. If I had noticed earlier or asked sooner, maybe it wouldn't have ended that way. What happened to my family then was no one's fault. Don't be silly. It had nothing to do with you. I interrupted him and touched his face. The sudden intimacy made us both freeze. Lu Jian stared at me. In his dark eyes, clear spring water seemed to ripple. He held my hand and kissed it gently. The air instantly changed. As if possessed, I leaned in and kissed him. He wrapped his arms around my waist. We kissed for a long time. How should I describe it? It was like going around in circles, only to meet again. The moonlight of your youth. And that moonlight looked at you deeply, saying he had liked you long ago, and waited for years. Who could resist that? Anyway, I couldn't. That night, we stayed in the room and talked all night. Young Master Lu seemed restrained. He didn't know how to handle closeness. Since his legs were still inconvenient, I chose to slow down. I finally lived the life I had dreamed of as a girl. At night, I flirted with Lu Jian, teasing him until his eyes turned red, tears shining in them, so gentle, so soft. A gentle, obedient young Master Lu was honestly too lovable. We had only been together 10 days, yet I already craved this warmth. Sadly, some calls always came at the worst time, especially from an ex-boyfriend. So what did I do? Of course, I hung up mercilessly. Sorry, the number you dialed is turned off. Then came a long string of English. Rongse frowned deeply. After a while, he opened WeChat. The next second, a message popped up. You are not friends. He stared at those words and laughed from anger. Today, he had finally found an excuse to return to their rental place, and Liang Inua gave him a huge surprise. Fine, never add me back again. Rongse slammed the gas. The sports car roared through the midnight alley, then sped away. When his mother mentioned the Gu marriage again, Rongse remembered Liang Inua blocking and deleting him. His chest felt strangely tight. Who couldn't live without whom? After that, his blind date with Gu Shinro went well. The Gu family was old money in Hu City. The families had known each other, but had grown distant lately. Gu Shinro looked gentle and sweet, with a graceful figure. Even her voice was soft, the standard sweet type. That day, he went shopping with her. Gu Shinro liked a bracelet, so he swiped his card at once. After paying, he suddenly realized that in almost 2 years with Inua, he had never given her a real gift, because his poor boy image was too convincing. Liang Inua never let him buy anything. She even watched every peso he spent. Many times, Rongse wanted to spend money on her. Bags, necklaces, clothes, trips abroad, a bigger flat, even a new air conditioner, so summer nights wouldn't be so hot. But he could do none of it, because then, Inua would ask where the money came from. If he couldn't explain, she would suspect him. So he gave up. When they first met, Rongse was a sophomore. Liang Inua was a junior, working part-time at a cafe. The first time they met, her bright smile almost melted him. His mind had only one thought. He had to know her. By chance, the cafe was hiring, so Rongse went in for an interview. It went smoothly. Not long after starting, Rongse discovered the manager was also chasing Inua. Men are sharp with rivals. After sensing Rongse's intentions, the manager started targeting him. Later, Rongse realized, whenever the manager picked on him, Inua would take his side. Maybe girls naturally protect the weaker one. So Rongse slowly used that to gain her sympathy. The angrier the manager got, the closer Inua became to Rongse. Thanks to the manager's perfect assist, Rongse won his goddess over. But because of that, Liang Inua always believed he was truly poor. Once the first lie was told, he needed countless lies to cover it. After they started dating, Inua managed their money, down to the last cent. Every expense was calculated. Rent, water, electricity, everything was squeezed tight. She wanted Wang Yuan to stretch into 5. When she found out he got a decent internship, Inua finally spent big for once. Big companies care about image. You can't dress too poorly and let colleagues look down on you. Originally, the things Inua carefully picked weren't really Rongse's style. But once he thought she bought them, they didn't seem so bad. Rongse's mind wandered until Gu Shinro called him. Only then did he snap back. For some reason, he suddenly wanted to find Inuo and confess everything. He should bring Inuo to his mother. Maybe his mother would like her too. Inuo was beautiful and kind, but even if his mother agreed, what about his father? Every hurdle felt harder. Gu Shinro came to the Rong home. She heard Madame Rong like lychees. Auntie likes lychees? Then let's pick some this weekend. My cousin's orchard has a huge harvest. We can't even finish picking them. Madame Rong heard that, and before her son could speak, she agreed for him. Rongse was speechless. He knew both families were trying to push him and Gu Shinro together. But honestly, he hadn't even figured out whether he wanted to continue with her. After all, he had just broken up with Inuo. He wasn't in the mood for marriage. He even rejected the idea of being alone with Gu Shinro. Just then, Shen Yanzhou called. Rongse, what are your weekend plans? I heard you're going to Hu City. Let me join. Rongse thought for a moment. Friends want to come. Is that okay? Sure, come together. The more, the merrier, their group all thought. Gu Shinro's cousin lived in the countryside, with a lychee hill. We're almost there, right? Probably some lychee hill behind a village. But when the cars entered Hu City, past 2 guarded security posts, and entered a private estate, then past a golf course, and a natural lake, they realized they were wrong. Finally, the car stopped before an English castle. This was the famous Blue Moon Bay. We should greet the owners first. My cousin and his wife aren't home. Let's go straight to the back hill. As they passed the horse ranch, sis-in-law, does your cousin have a sister? I'll marry into the family. Someone smacked him at once. Bro, dream bigger, why don't you? Are you sick? What are you calling her? Who's your sis-in-law? Did Rongse admit it? Everyone knew she liked Rongse, so no one spoke. Halfway through picking lychees, Gu Shinro got a call. It seemed her cousin had returned. Out of courtesy, the group felt they should greet the owner. So they went back. As they reached the lakeside, they saw a black SUV. After it stopped, the driver opened the rear door. Everyone was surprised. The man in the wheelchair was very young. About their age. They didn't know what had happened to make walking hard. Then a woman in a long dress got out. The wind messed up her hair. She went to push the wheelchair. After a short distance, she stopped. The man took her hand. The woman crouched and said something. She was clearly acting spoiled. Then they started kissing. The scene was unbelievably sweet. Everyone was caught off guard and force-fed their affection. My cousin and his fiancée are getting engaged. They're like this every day. You'll get used to it. After a while, they finally stopped kissing. Only then did everyone approach. Gu Shinro introduced both sides. The woman tucked her hair behind her ear, revealing a delicate face, refined features, eyes like a painting. But Rongse, come a second ago, changed the moment he saw her. He stared hard at the woman, his face cold as ice. Shen Yanzhou and Zhou Jinyu beside him looked even more shocked, like they had seen a ghost. When I saw Rongse, I froze too. What was going on? Why was he here? This is my cousin, Lu Jian, and his fiancée, Liang Inuo. This is Rongse, and these are his friends. Only then did I realize Rongse was Gu Shinro's match. What kind of coincidence was this? My luck was something else. Hello. Thanks for coming all this way. Hello, Mr. Lu. My name is Lin Yan. I'm Shinro's friend. Hello, Mr. Lu. I'm Zhou Jinyu. Rongse's friend. Only Rongse stood frozen, staring at me. After the greetings. Is it hot? Shall we go inside? Okay. This scene was basically a battlefield. For a moment, I didn't know what to do. I could only push Lu Jian inside first. But this man was sharp. There was no hiding it. So I admitted it. He's my ex-boyfriend. Lu Jian nodded. He didn't look surprised at all. Are you angry? I'm sorry. I didn't know he would be here. Lu Jian sighed. He held my hand, wrong but helpless. I'm not that petty. I'm just afraid you'll mind me. Mind what? Because I'm in a wheelchair. I leaned in and covered his mouth. We were very close. Even our breaths touched. What are you thinking? You're my white moonlight. No one can replace you. His lips moved lightly, making my palm tingle. Really? You didn't know? Lu Jian chuckled. His eyes curved, but you are my white moonlight. The one I missed for years. My one and only white moonlight. You're getting too good at this. Tonight, I'll reward you with 100 candies. Lu Jiayan thought seriously. That's too many. Can it be 4? Deal. I knew Rongse would confront me. But I didn't expect him to be so bold. He waited until no one noticed. And blocked me on the second floor. His eyes were dark. Liang Inua. Don't you owe me an explanation? I was confused. Explain what? We've been broken up for 2 months. We only broke up 2 months ago. Relax. My boyfriend and I have dated for a month and a half. I never wronged you. Rongse nearly gritted his teeth. Should I praise you, then? For moving on so fast? It wasn't that fast. There was half a month in between. You were that eager to choose him. Did you seriously think about your future and real problems? I wanted us to part peacefully. No need to make it ugly. But since he was rude, don't worry. We're doing very well. Rongse's pupils shrank. His face stayed pale for a long time. Then, his voice trembling. He asked like he had lost. You and him already went that far. That has nothing to do with you. Don't forget, we broke up. And my boyfriend and I are getting engaged. This is the last time I'll speak to you alone. I hope you understand. And know when to stop. Downstairs, everyone remembered the scene. And couldn't help sighing. Liang Inua is really something. She just dumped Rongse. And already caught Lu Group's prince. What's that saying again? Never underestimate a pretty girl. Who knows what kind of man she'll meet the next day? That's true. That also depends on her ability. People say Liang Inua is smart and practical. That she only wants stability. And hates hardship. Zhou Jinyu glanced at him. When Liang Inua was with Rongse, she never had one stable day. She doesn't chase comfort. She saved money and worked hard. Everything she earned was spent on him. She gave her whole heart. I don't know what luck Rongse had to meet such a sincere girl. When Zhou Jinyu met Inua, he had thought about chasing her. After all, she and Rongse had broken up. It wouldn't count as stealing his brother's girl. If he could win Inua over. Even if Rongse felt awkward, he'd accept it. Putting everything aside, Liang Inua was exactly his type. Bright, charming face. Porcelain white skin. Even bare-faced, she beat many actresses. Her figure was perfect too. Any fuller would be too much. Any thinner too plain. He really didn't understand Rongse. With such a devoted lover, he still chose a marriage alliance. It made no sense, unfortunately. Inua left him no chance. Zhou Jinyu thought there was time. So he could take it slow. Unexpectedly, she was taken so fast. What is she so proud of? Isn't she just relying on others? Someone coughed lightly, trying to warn her. Always depending on others to survive. Seems Miss Jiang has a big problem with me. Jiang Anyu didn't expect me to hear. Her face froze. A moment later, she lifted her chin, as if daring me to react. I'm only telling the truth. This was already the second time I heard her badmouth me. I wouldn't let it pass. Miss Jiang as a woman. Your words are so sharp and mean. That's truly improper. She froze. She didn't expect me to talk back. What did you say? Or is there someone in your heart? You clearly like someone, but never got what you wanted. If your past is settled, follow your heart and move forward. Don't miss the fate in front of you. What right do you have to lecture me? None. It's just that Blue Moon Bay, where you're standing right now, is mine. As the owner, I don't welcome you. Please leave Blue Moon Bay now. Are you kidding? This belongs to the Lu family. You mean my fiancé, Lu Jiayan? He already transferred Blue Moon Bay to me, as part of the betrothal gift. I'll say it again. As the owner of this house, I do not welcome you. You have 3 minutes to leave. The group returned to High City. These spoiled rich kids had never been humiliated like this. Being kicked out to their faces was truly embarrassing. But Jiang Anyu and Rongse suffered most. One was scolded to her face. The other was slapped in public by his ex. Before leaving, Chen Yanzhou tried to comfort him. Look on the bright side. You and Liang Inua broke up anyway. Rongse said nothing, seeing his dark face. Like a storm was coming. Chen Yanzhou shut up fast. Anyone with eyes could tell. Young Master Rong regretted it. In truth, Rongze really did. He had never doubted Inua loved him. And loved him deeply. Because he was the one who broke it off. He had felt guilty for 2 whole months, and in those 2 months, he finally understood his heart. Rongze knew he liked Liang Inua. And he could never marry into the Gu family. Just as he was secretly thinking how to make his parents accept Inua. He saw the girlfriend who, 2 months ago, was still so close to him, now kissing another man with all her heart. That scene struck like thunder, splitting his mind apart. After he saw her face clearly, Rongze even lied to himself. That woman was not his girlfriend. She had to be Inua's twin sister. Right, Liang Inua had a twin sister. But in the end, that fantasy shattered. Seeing how bad his face looked, Shen Yanzhou said, "Enough, let's go. Everyone, go home." 2 days later, Rongze met Gu Xinro, planning to cancel the engagement. "Do you know my cousin-in-law?" It seemed he had lost control too obviously. Even Gu Xinro noticed. Rongze hesitated. Then confessed, "Inua is my ex-girlfriend." Gu Xinro covered her mouth in shock. There was no sadness from being dumped. Only burning gossip. "How long since you broke up?" 2 months. "You started too late." "My cousin also started late. But his chances are much better." "What do you mean?" Liang Inua was my cousin Lu Jiayan's childhood classmate. Back then, she chased him for years. But he never accepted. Later, something happened to the Liang family. Relatives took her in, and she transferred. My cousin looked for her for years. He only found news recently. 1 blind date, and they set the engagement. Think about it. He searched for her almost 10 years. How could he let her go? That's why I said, your chance of winning her back is very small. Almost 0. No, she loves me, so what if it was 2 years? I won't give up on Liang Inua. How will you do that? I think, even seeing her now will be hard for you. True. He was blocked on WeChat and every platform. She had even changed her number. How about I help? How? I'll ask her out for you. Why help me? Gu Xinro blinked. What could she say? That she just wanted gossip? 2 men chasing 1 woman was way more exciting than a romance novel. Since you want to cancel the engagement, our families can't be in-laws. Then we can do business. With one small favor. Young Master Rong will owe me. Why not? Besides, Gu Xinro believed Inua would never choose Rongze. So she casually agreed to help him. That night, Gu Xinro messaged me to shop tomorrow. After thinking briefly, I agreed. Who messaged you? Xinro. She asked me to shop tomorrow. I'll go with you. No need, right? It's just girls shopping. Lu Jiayan went quiet. After a while, I sensed something off. Why? Why can't I go with you? Because I'm buying underwear. If you stand beside me, I'll be embarrassed. I can help you choose. Then there'll be no surprise when I wear it. You'll have seen it already. That part matters a lot to me. Don't shop too long. Okay. I'll call you. Don't find me annoying. Of course not. All men who hit on you are shameless. Okay. You can't meet your ex. And don't answer his calls. If you go back to him, I won't be able to take it. But in the end, I failed. I had no idea where Rongse came from. Cousin-in-law, he begged me to let you meet. I think you should clear things up. So he gives up for good. Gu Xinro whispered in my ear. So that was it. I was speechless. You two talk. I'll come back later. Inua, I frowned. Out of patience. I made it very clear last time. I don't want to meet you alone again. I know, but I can't do it. Can you forgive me? Let's pretend these 2 months never happened. Okay. Sometimes men really felt childish. Pretend nothing happened. Was that even possible? Forgive you? For which part? Rongse froze. Panic flashed across his face. Everything. I shouldn't have lied. My dad wasn't hospitalized. And I'm not as poor as you thought. Not as poor as I thought. How modest. I know someone who can marry Gu Xinro. Can't be poor. Fine, I forgive you. Let's end it here. Inua. Can you come somewhere with me? I'm begging you. If I go with you, will you stop bothering me forever? If you still don't change your mind, I can promise. When I saw wrong estate, I finally knew where he brought me. Truly unexpected. Rose got up and opened my door. I'm sorry, Inuo. I lied to you before. I'm actually from High City. This is my home. Today, I'll tell my parents everything. You are my girlfriend. We've been together almost 2 years. I won't marry Gushinro. The person I've always liked is you. Send me back, Inuo. I'm begging you. Can you get out? Ha! He left me speechless. I leaned back and crossed my arms. Tell me, why should I choose you? Lu Jiayan gave me all of Blue Moon Bay. Can you give me wrong estate too? There's a saying I believe now. A person's sincerity is hidden in what he's willing to give. I was with you almost 2 years and never spent your money. I kept giving to you. Thinking back, you weren't that sincere. Back then, when I asked you to come to Hu City, I wanted you to meet my aunt. You were smart. You knew I was taking you home. So you rejected me. You asked to break up. Fine, I agreed. But now you want me back. We're both adults. Do you think this is a game? With every word, Rongse's face turned grayer. Back then, I hadn't thought it through. You shouldn't deny everything we had because of that. Inuo, I'll make it up to you, no need. The best compensation now is to stay away from me. Stop disturbing my life with my boyfriend. That's impossible. I can't do that. That day in the private room, I heard everything. He didn't react at first. What private room? What private room? The room at Club 01. I was there too. Because you wouldn't go to Hu City. You asked your friends to make up a breakup excuse. You also said your child could only be born by your real wife. Not anyone else, not me. I'll never choose someone who stays silent while others insult me. When Jiang Anyu mocked me, I thought you would defend me. But you said nothing. From that moment, we were completely over. There will never be another chance. Rongze looked at me ashen-faced. I thought he wouldn't bother me again. By the time we married, Lu Jiayan's legs had recovered well. He no longer needed a wheelchair. We skipped the engagement ceremony. We got married directly. After my mother finished nagging, I let out a breath. Sister Inuo, this is a wedding gift from someone. I set it aside, not even wanting to open it. Soon after, I received a text. Then came a message, I'm sorry. Happy wedding. Out of shock, I opened the box. It was a diamond necklace. It looked familiar. Then I remembered. It was the expensive necklace I saw while shopping with Rongse a year ago. Back then he said he'd buy it. I thought he was joking. If after the breakup, I still had resentment toward Rongse, then the moment I saw that necklace, the last trace disappeared. In my heart, he became a very generous and decent ex. The wedding finally began. Looking at handsome Lu Jiayan, warmth rose in my heart. All right, my new life was about to begin.